If you have not watched the previous video, please watch it first. The link is available in the description or in the I button. Welcome back to this brand new explainer. Today we are bringing you a comprehensive two-part masterclass based on chapters 24 and 25 of our source material. We're going to dive deep into how to fix both your internal driving mindset and your external environment. Literally, we'll outline exactly how to accelerate your journey to wealth by mastering your perception and completely escaping the headwinds that hold most people back. Here is a quick look at what we're covering today. In part 1, we've got choices of perception, tools for better steering, and escaping the rearview mirror. Then, in part 2, we'll hit eliminating headwinds and toxic relationships versus tailwinds, before wrapping it all up with our key takeaways. Let's get right into it. Starting off with part 1, choices of perception. So, let's talk about the windshield you're looking through, because it absolutely dictates the roads you take. You see, before you ever make a physical choice of action, you actually make a choice of perception. Your internal thoughts and beliefs, they're the engine for literally every single action you take. The author shares this brilliant, incredibly relatable story about pumping gas into his Lamborghini. A teenager walks up, totally admires the car, snaps a few pictures, and then just sighs and says, "I'll never be able to afford one of these." Right there, that single sentence is what the author calls a treasonous choice of perception. By concluding right off the bat that an extravagant car is completely out of his league, that teenager instantly guaranteed his own mediocre results. He just couldn't see beyond his own clouded windshield. But when the author saw a Lamborghini as a kid, his perception was, someday I'm going to own one of those. And guess what? That specific choice of perception manifested into the actions that made it a reality. Remember, your perception isn't always objective reality. It's just the frame of reference you choose to adopt. Now, altering your words is the absolute first step to wiping that windshield clean. You can actually expose your own limiting mindset just by taking a hard look at the language you use every day. You have to trade in flimsy, weak words like try, think, and can't for firm, committed Fastlane language. We're talking words like I will, it's possible, and I'll overcome. I mean, think about it like this. If you were about to go under for surgery and your brain surgeon looked at you and said, "Well, I think I can operate on you and I will try to succeed," you would panic. You'd probably run out of the room. You want committed success, not possible failure. If your internal language is filled with can'ts, your actions are going to follow suit for sure. You have to actively overwrite those old beliefs. Moving right along to tools for better steering. Okay, so our windshield is clean and we've fixed our language. Now we need the right tools to actually steer. You navigate your wealth journey on choice, not asphalt, right? So you need the proper mental frameworks to prevent disastrous detours. For those everyday split-second decisions, you should use the worst-case consequence analysis, or WCCA. This is a super practical, forward-thinking tool designed to steer you away from perilous, life-ruining mistakes. You just ask yourself 3 really quick questions. First, what's the worst-case consequence of this choice? Second, what is the probability of this outcome actually happening? And third, is this an acceptable risk? For example, the author uses WCCA when other drivers try to bait him into a street race in his exotic car. The worst-case consequence? Killing himself or someone else. The probability? Honestly, high enough to be dangerous. Is it an acceptable risk? Absolutely not. Literally, in 3 seconds, the WCCA takes over. He takes his foot off the accelerator and avoids a potential disaster. It's a game changer you can use every single day. Now, while WCCA is perfect for quick daily risk assessment, what about the big stuff? That's where the weighted average decision matrix, or WADM, comes in. This is a mathematical tool for those massive life choices with tons of moving parts, like deciding whether to move to a new city, quit your job, or sell a business. It's actually pretty simple. You start by listing out the factors that matter to you. Maybe that's the weather, cost of living, or being near family. Then you weigh the importance of each factor on a scale from 1 to 10. Next, you grade your choices, say moving to Detroit versus Phoenix, from 1 to 10 on those specific factors. You multiply the weight by the grade and simply pick the higher final score. The beauty of this is that it totally removes the emotional waffling and gives you objective clarity. Fun fact, this matrix once saved the author from losing $125,000 on a terrible Las Vegas restaurant investment simply by revealing the true logical weight of the decision. Next up, escaping the rearview mirror. This is absolute crucial. You cannot hit the mark of your future if your eyes are constantly glued to the rearview mirror of your past. Today is the starting line for the rest of your life. And this quote hits the nail right on the head. The universe doesn't care about your past. It is completely blind to it. It doesn't care if you made terrible grades in high school or if you failed at your last 5 business ventures. Think of it like a coin flip, okay? No matter how many times you flip a coin and get tails, the very next flip is entirely random. Your past never equals your future unless you are the one who allows it to. You hold the sole power to classify your memories. You can label a failed business as a reason to never try again, which, as we know, is a treasonous roadblock, or you can label it as an accelerative lesson for how to do it better next time. The universe forgets, and frankly, you need to let go of the memories that just don't serve you anymore. All right, let's shift gears and get into part 2, eliminating headwinds. Let's see how all this builds together. Now that we've repaired our internal mindset, we have to actively conquer the external gravitational pull of society. Because make no mistake, society has a natural headwind, and that headwind is the heavy expectation for you to just settle for normal. Think about the greatest invention of mankind, the airplane. It wasn't amazing just because it defied the laws of physics. It was amazing because Orville and Wilbur Wright had to break free from literally everyone calling them foolish and telling them it was impossible. To achieve extraordinary wealth, you have to adopt an uncommon approach. You have to be willing to turn your back on what everyone else expects of you. And here is the really cool secret about that. If you turn your back to a headwind, it magically becomes an accelerant that pushes you forward. To do this, you have to actively escape what the source playfully calls human headwind bloviators. These are the dream stealers. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The friends, family members, or coworkers who react to your big ideas with doubt, rolling their eyes and saying things like, "Oh, that won't work," or "Why even bother?" They've been socially conditioned to accept mediocrity, and you must fiercely protect your mindset from them. Instead, you need to deliberately surround yourself with accelerative tailwinds. Basically, curate your relationships like you're putting together a battle platoon. Go join entrepreneur clubs, find mentors, read autobiographies of incredibly successful people. Put people on your team who actually empower your goals and act as a conduit to your dreams. Which leads us perfectly into toxic relationships versus tailwinds. So of all the headwinds you might face, the absolute most critical one is found sitting right next to you, in the passenger seat of your vehicle. Your significant other can be your greatest tailwind, pushing you forward, or your most destructive headwind. If you are deeply committed to an entrepreneurial journey and your partner just doesn't get it, or worse, actively opposes your goals, it's literally like towing a trailer full of wet manure. It's so heavy. It drains your energy and dims your dreams. You just can't expect to grow in unison if you're on two completely different paths. Traveling the road less traveled is already hard enough. Compounding that journey by bringing along someone who doesn't share your destination, who's constantly adjusting the radio and distracting you, is a guaranteed recipe for failure. If your partner isn't fighting in your corner, it might be time to take a really serious look at who is sitting in your passenger seat. Okay, let's bring it all together with our key takeaways. Let's wrap up this explainer masterclass with the vital driving lessons you absolutely need to remember for your road trip to wealth. To truly accelerate, master these 5 pillars. First, remember that your choices of action manifest directly from your choices of perception. So wipe that windshield clean with firm, committed language. Second, utilize the WCCA to dodge those disastrous daily detours, and the WADM to calculate precise, major life decisions. Third, the universe has absolutely zero memory of your past. Only you weaponize it, so choose to make it an accelerant instead. Fourth, actively break the headwind of normal, average society. And finally, rigorously filter your environment and relationships so they act as a powerful tailwind, pushing you to your dreams, not a heavy anchor dragging you down. Take a hard, honest look at your environment and mindset today. Are your daily choices and closest relationships accelerating your dreams, or are they pulling you right back down to average? Ask yourself what specific choices or relationships need to change right now for you to finally break free from the gravity of average. Stay tuned for the next video.